Hello and welcome to Wednesday Winos. My name is Rebecca and I'm coming to you from Yarra Valley at Kangaroo Ridge Retreat, and I am here with Ben.
I think Ben's frozen. Unless he's being really chilled out.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
Yarra Valley internet. There you go.
So we've had a internet with everything is all jumping and everything. But anyway, we're here with Wednesday Winos. My name is Rebecca and I'm from Kangaroo Ridge Retreat. And Ben, who's frozen there from Watts River. We have an exciting show, but first we wanted to say thank you to Kangaroo Mick and let him know that we really appreciate that he came online last month to have the Lilydale Lager and also the porter, the smoked porter. But the more exciting thing is I would like to let our viewers know that you may have already met them. You may already know them. We've expanded our co-hosting team to include hoppets. And if you haven't met them, you may have seen them when they dropped off your teaser packs today or yesterday or the day before. So without much ado, I'd like to welcome Sarah and John to the Wednesday Winos crew. Hello and welcome.
Thank you.
Amazing intro. Look at that.
It was.
Hey guys. John, Sarah.
Yeah, you could go ahead. Hello and welcome to the team. Would you like to tell everyone about Hoppet?
Well, we're near the city, so our internet's going to be much better. So if everyone fails, we're still going to be there. But yeah, we're Hoppet, so you might
have you heard of us? We're the hop on hop off service for Yarra Valley and Mornington Peninsula. Yarra Valley being our main playground as such. Started just over a year ago when COVID wasn't around. Can you remember that time?
I don't know. Can I?
It was amazing
Seems far away.
I think we have a few people on here today that have actually hopped on themselves. It's essentially a wine. It's kind of like a wine tour, but you design your own day around our timetable, and we basically go around the Yarra Valley every hour, visiting breweries, distilleries, wineries, chocolatieri, Steelsville Sanctuary, you name it. You can do it and design your own day, which is fantastic.
Yes, but it seems like a long time ago. So now we've reinvented ourselves and we're delivering wine from the wineries in the Yarra Valley. So that's what we've been busy with. Doing that every week, obviously safe and COVID safe. And
well, we can't deliver the people to the wineries, so we'll deliver the wine to the people. That's what
right.
we do.
Yes.
Fantastic.
That is us in a nutshell, really.
And everyone's back.
Everyone's back. Ben is back.
Great, and it's always great when we have technical ones. Hey Ben, welcome back.
Thanks. Yeah, I think I got Doug's computer over there, so I've jumped on another one.
Oh, we've had a lot of technical issues with this particular. I think with everything at 8 p.m. nowadays, it's a little bit harder the bandwidth than the Yarra Valley internet. So thank you everyone for your patience. So Ben, why don't you introduce who we're actually tasting today on Wednesday Winos, because we didn't quite get the introduction that we'd expected before. So, yeah, I can bring him on when you.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Don't introduce us. We've already been introduced. You up.
I totally lost track of where we are.
Oh, that's okay. Well, let's introduce James from Mandala Wineries, and we're drinking their Pinot Noir, 2019 Pinot Noir. So welcome, James, to Wednesday Winos.
Woo.
Hey.
From Alaska, by the looks of it.
All the way from Fitzroy.
There we go. All right. Hopefully, can we hear you now? Try again with speaking.
How's that?
Perfect.
Excellent.
None of you know it's been a struggle behind the scenes. It's taken 2 days to be able to get James online. So. We got
there.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the wine that we're trialing today, and then we can talk about winery as well. So
So we've got our 2019 Pinot Noir. So this was sourced all from our Yarra Junction vineyard. So we planted that in 1999, and that's purely up there. It's all just Pinot vines.
Fabulous.
So we've got a couple different clones up there. So, the kind of staple in the Yarra Valley is that MV6 clone. So we've got a bit of that, some 114 and some 115s. And that's just to get different, texture and different fruit elements into the wine.
So cheers to that and have a try, and then cheers to everybody out on Wednesday Winos.
Yeah.
Excited.
So yeah, sorry. Continue.
Oh no, yeah. So I guess many people won't know that. Yarra Valley's its bread and butter is almost that kind of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, and it's very similar to us. Like Pinot Noir is essentially what made Charles Smedley, the owner of Mandala Wines. It's what made us wanting to start up a winery and produce wine out there. Is the Pinot Noir, classic. Great climate for it, great growing conditions, great soil at that vineyard. Comes from volcanic, that kind of red volcanic soil type, and it really is quite fertile up there. So you get a lot of growth and really nice fruit from that vineyard.
Where is Mandala Wines actually located?
So we've got our cellar door and our main site in Dixon's Creek, where we have all our other varietals planted. So the Cabernet, Chardonnay, Shiraz, a little bit of Merlot, a bit of Sauv Blanc, and all that kind of stuff. But then, so we've got two vineyards. We've got that one there, which is about kind of that 60 acres under vine, and then we've got the Pinot Noir Yarra Junction vineyard, which is where this wine is all sourced from. So for me, it's quite it's a really nice, vibrant, fruit-driven Pinot. It is 2019, so it's probably just starting to show some nice fruit in the wine now. After it kind of takes a while after bottling and stuff just to come together nicely. So for me, it's got that quite nice, like a vibrant violet leaf, so nice kind of like violets, blue fruit. I think as well as that really nice, this quite a nice spice underlying there as well. So almost that kind of cinnamon, cardamom, clove elements to it. Maybe like fresh lemon thyme, things like that. But that really complements
in the glass. For me, I don't know, maybe I'm overstepping the mark there, but I taste Christmas for some reason.
Yeah. It's everything happiness. It's all the good stuff. Yeah.
It's a beautiful color as well. It's really pretty.
Yeah, so that was, I can't remember how long we left it on skins for, but we just do whole berry fermentation. So we get the grapes and the bunches from the vineyard, take it to the winery, de-stem it also, and then put it through the crusher, the press, and just use the actual berries. So we don't have any of that, whole bunch element influence in there. So the not really nice color comes from just that really gentle kind of pressing of the actual fruit.
Yeah.
And then leaving it on skins, obviously, as well. Now, what was that?
How much oak is in it? Like, how much oak did you put into the barrels? The new oak?
Yes, so we've matured. It's all matured in oak. So we use, it's all French oak for about that kind of 9-10 months time. And it was about 20% new oak in this. The older one, other barrels being kind of a mixture between 2 to 5 year old barrels. But we don't like to use. We don't want to use too much oak in it. We don't want the oak to overpower the fruit. We want to just sort of give that nice kind of supportive element to the wine. So just aiding in bringing out those fruit flavors and adding some nice complexity in there.
Yeah.
What food would you recommend with it? Dinner plans?
For this one, really nice with that kind of mushroom risotto style of food. Anything kind of with a little bit of that kind of almost like tomato-y kind of dish. So pasta's great.
Yeah.
Pizza is classic one. Back when the restaurant was open, that was what I'd always try and get a pizza Friday lunch and have a glass of Pinot with it as well, just to treat myself a bit.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, you got to do it.
It's the perks.
Yeah, that's me.
So,
Food pairing.
so when for those that haven't been to Mandala before, we're going to be adding that onto our type. We were going to actually came in to speak to James about it. We were going to add you to the timetable, weren't we? So hopefully we'll get people on board and get you up there, get them up there as soon as all this is over. But for those that haven't been there, there's a beautiful cellar door there. We'll be welcomed by James and his team. And then they've got a stunning restaurant there as well. What was the restaurant? Is it Italian?
Yeah, so it's all Italian cuisine. So Luca, the head chef there, and Sophia, they run that. So Divino Restaurant, and they have come over from Italy to run that and establish that. Really good pizzas, great gnocchi. It's pretty unreal. I'd probably, after eating there a few times, wouldn't really get Italian anywhere else almost. It's pretty spoiled to have it right there on site.
I've got a few locals that have who work in the other wineries say how good the food is there. So when the locals are raving about it, it must be bloody good.
I agree.
So, sorry, continue.
You go.
I was going to ask about the label because actually one of the key things that I see a lot of with the beers that we've had on our show as well, it's actually been the label for Mandala, and it's pretty detailed. So, yeah, can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah. So Mandala, we get the winery name. It's Sanskrit for sacred circle. So hence the whole mandala that you see there, our own sacred circle. And it really, it's a sacred circle of, what is important to you. So for us, it's, surrounding yourself with good friends, family, really like good food and kind of enjoying that good life. And that's kind of, that's really what it all comes back to, being able to savor, experiences with family and friends. But in our own mandala, you can see there's, because we are Yarra Valley Winery, there's a lot of wildlife in the Yarra Valley. So you'll see there's birds in there. There's plenty of frogs around in our dam. There's a trout in there as well. So we used to stock trout in our dams to then use in the restaurant. And then it's all about kind of leisure and living and enjoying the good life. So then you'll see there's a plane for travel, a book for relaxation and all that kind of stuff.
And then is that you?
Yeah, we are a vineyard, so it's all centered around that kind of vines and the vineyard.
Is that you doing cartwheels?
Oh, I wish. No, that's Charles's kids in there.
Oh.
We've got a couple of questions from the Watts River Facebook feed from Scott Howard, who tunes in regularly.
Hey, Scotty.
He's asking about the yeast selection and when it was bottled.
So for that we do a bit of a mixture of, we inoculate with the Burgundian yeast clone, and we also do a little bit of wild yeast fermentation. So that's kind of whatever's, any yeast that's on the grape skins that come in, anything that's in the winery, we just kind of let it kick off and tick over through fermentation. And we bottled it in December last year, that kind of time. So about end of the year, we usually bottle our Pinot.
And Scott always said, Rebecca, you need a bigger glass.
So everything really slowed down right there. I think there was a bit of wild yeast.
I think he might be having a bit of a dig at you. He reckons you need a bigger glass. Yep, dropped out again.
Bigger glass.
Big glass.
Glass, really big.
Becky might be gone. Oh, well.
So I guess what's your favorite wine, James? Like working in a winery, I guess you get to taste everything all the time because you need to make sure it's, on point. But what sort of what's your go-to? What's your favorite?
That really depends on my mood and stuff, and kind of the occasion. At the moment, it's because it's winter. I've been, Pinot Noir is always a favourite for me personally. It's what I've got the most of in my personal cellar as well. But I do quite like old aged Cabernet. So when it gets that really nice kind of richness to it, a really nice kind of dried kind of herb elements to it, I quite like that. And they get quite a little bit kind of old school.
It's probably Becky on my phone, I reckon.
All that kind of stuff.
She's gone.
Yeah,
awesome.
Well, I mean, we come up to the Yarra Valley literally every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to pick up the wine. So we're seeing what's going on, and I know all of you have been very busy with pruning at the moment.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, we've just finished pruning, which is almost a bit of a blessing considering these lockdowns coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's starting to snow.
Yeah, very cold.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we got the host back, or no?
Saved by the host.
It's a bit of a struggle with the Yarra Valley internet, like a lot of the internet, went down altogether this week, obviously, but at least we can kind of
back. I still think it's pretty bad.
Did you get the large glass?
Yeah. We thought you were just off getting a larger glass.
A larger wine glass.
It's all part of the adventure.
All right, awesome. Should we taste some beer?
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So today we're tasting our latest special release, which is almost sold out actually. So if you want some, you want to get in quick on our website or pop into the brewery. That's it. Thanks. So this, like our regular IPA, this one's like dry and really emphasizes fruity characters, try to make it sessionable. But this one, unlike our regular IPA, this one actually has some fruit pulp in there as well, which really complement the hop selection. So we've used like some passion fruit, blood orange, and grapefruit puree. I'm definitely getting passion fruit, but a bit of that comes from the hops as well. So the hops were Citra, Cashmere, and Galaxy. So Galaxy is really known for its passion fruit characters, a really well-known Australian hop variety. So the fruit selection and the hops really work well together, and we try to make it nice and fresh and vibrant. And like most of our beers, it's dry. So really simple malt bill. So it's really the hops shine.
So because it's an isolation IPA, so you specifically made it for isolation. How many liters did you brew? Yeah,
so with most of our special batches, we've got a variety of tank sizes. So that's a good question. So we've got quite a few 500-litre tanks. So most special batches just go through that so we can turn them over more quickly. And this was one of those. But occasionally we'll do a 1,000-litre special batch.
Yeah.
And normally we would keg half of it and bottle half of it. But because we weren't going to sell any kegs because there's no pubs open, we bottled the whole lot.
Yeah.
And normally a special batch would hang around for around a month or maybe 5 weeks, but this one's been out for just short of 3 weeks, and it's pretty much gone, and that's all packaged. So it's been really popular.
Amazing.
So if you already sold out of that one almost, are you going to do Isolation IPA 2.0?
We've got
3.0.
we've got other things coming up. So so Aaron put a sneaky preview of our next special release up on Facebook this week, so people can sort of see what's coming up. It's dark, it's big, so
Nice. I like the dark ales.
it's gonna
perfect for winter. That sounds great.
It's gonna be good, but that will be a little while off, and then we've got a bit of other stuff coming up too. So it seems like in isolation, people have really been going for special releases, so we're churning through those quite quickly.
Nice. Totally different.
Yeah.
So what about your other beers, Ben? How have they been going?
Yeah, it's reality is it's a tough climate for us, so I can't. But we're really trying to make sure we can get beer to people, so we deliver it every Thursday, and we'll probably get Hoppet on board if they're happy to deliver more regularly for us. So need to have more conversations there, but really want to do that so people have the option of getting it more regularly. But if people want a beer, like we deliver every Thursday to Greater Melbourne and Greater Geelong, so we've got a pretty wide reach for people that want our beer. Paul Chandler, our guy that does the deliveries, he's got a long run these days, but Hoppet know all about that. So,
Oh yeah.
It is a big job. Like
8 o'clock this morning, we were up in the Yarra Valley.
I didn't think that, after like what you do, you start a business or whatever, that you end up being a delivery driver.
Yeah.
And for those delivery drivers that are out there, there's nothing wrong with being a delivery driver.
No, there isn't.
Full respect. You keep this running.
I have learned so much about being a delivery driver, and the one thing I can pass on to every Australian out there, can you please make sure that you've got your house number somewhere clearly visible on your house?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's annoying.
And keep your dogs restrained.
Hats off to you guys for diversifying so quickly when we first went into lockdown. You really did a really good job and have been offering a good service. So, and you were doing such a good service before we went into lockdown, getting people out to the Yarra Valley and bringing people to us. It's just, and that will come back in time. So
hopefully.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, well, we'll be back out at soon enough.
I've got a question for you too, Sarah and John. How is the Yarra Valley now that there's like pretty much nobody here except for us who live here?
Oh, it's brilliant to drive around. Like, no one on the roads, and there's more wildlife. Like the amount of kangaroos I've seen today, this morning.
True.
It's
cold.
It's cold.
It's cold.
It snowed yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we weren't up there yesterday, but this morning it was a chilly 6.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
What's that?
2 weeks ago it was -3.
Oh.
I wonder when in by Dixon's Creek, because you're in like a little bit of a bowl there.
It was more at the Yarra Junction vineyard. That's where it gets really cold.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
So, James, we have as part of our other pack that we had, the Explorer pack, you included a Shiraz. So I haven't had a chance to taste the Shiraz. Do you want to tell us a bit about the Shiraz?
Yeah, sure. So the Shiraz comes from our Dixon's Creek vineyard, and the way that little patch of vines is outlaid, it gets like a kind of nice, even sun exposure. I wish I had a map that we could show, but we don't. So with that, we we take it off the vines. Again, it's all hand picked. taken to the winery. And with that, depending on the year, we play around with the winemaking a little bit. So Dawn, our winemaker, has been doing a little bit more of an extended maceration where we'll leave some of the fruit on the skins for a number of months. So to put it into perspective, 2020 harvest for the Shiraz would have been that kind of end of March, I think, just off the top of my head, end of March, maybe start of April. And then once that's kind of pressed, he left it on just a small batch on skins just to build nice fruit kind of complexity and structure into the wine until Monday, just gone. So it was just sitting on skins for that few months just to build that really nice complexity into there. But yeah, with the 17 was a really nice cool year for the Yarra Valley. So the 17 Shiraz define is really nice. It's really lifted. So it's got those really nice kind of almost like kind of red licorice fruits to it, that kind of boysenberry style, and really plush, kind of soft tannin structure. So it's a really easy drinking Shiraz.
Gonna have to come and try it out. Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty much sold out of it, actually.
Oh,
a couple of bottles. I've got a few bottles in my garage.
$300 a pop.
So if people want to buy wine, James, you've got an online shop open at the moment as well?
Yep. So unfortunately, we've had to close down the site again, but we, if no one wants it, we just send it, or we get Hobbit to.
Yeah. And same for you, Ben, right? Like you've got your online store, so.
Yeah, so the online store is good for people that are more than 5 kilometres away and can't drop into the brewery on their one outing for the day. We're also doing deliveries if people ring up as well, so we can deliver to people around Hillsville and the Yarra Valley, or on Thursdays as we do regularly further afield. So yeah, we're trying to make it as available as possible in these times, and because people are stuck at home, well, we can get it to them on our delivery runs. So.
Yeah.
If there's, I guess, one thing that I would say to people out there is that go and buy local and buy direct. Go direct to Mandala, go direct to Watts River and buy it from them directly, because it means, there is all that money, the money for the product goes straight to you guys, and it's not sort of, going through the big retailers. It's really important that, we keep supporting the small operators.
Yeah, but also, definitely go direct to the source if you can, but support your local bottle shop too. So we don't mind people buying it from a small independent bottle shop, our product too, because they've been supporting us and we want them to get some too. So support your small independent bottle shops as well.
Yeah, we're the same. We're really big on supporting the people that support us as well.
Yeah.
So usually, as part of our Wednesday Winos, did you only get a further question on Watts River? I wasn't sure whether you could see some more questions. Did you get any?
I just had a couple from Scott, but he's gone. He just asked about the grav on the beer, and if you looked at the bottle, it's on there. It's 2.8 Plato. So maybe he's had a few too many and can't read it, so I can tell him. But yeah, other than that, I don't know.
The density.
What's that?
What does that kind of indicate?
The density. So basically, we start. Yeah, it's a good question actually, because a lot of people don't know. So we've got a bit of control in brewing over the fermentable sugars. So we can control that by a few different ways, but the main one is mash temperature, because different enzymes either create more unfermentable sugars or more fermentable sugars. So we can use different temperatures, and then we start at a certain sugar level, and then basically where it finishes is the final gravity, is what we call it. So it's 2.8 Plato, which is similar to bricks or Bome and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we've got a bit of control, whereas I think in wine it's pretty much mostly fermentable sugars, pretty much entirely, I think.
Pretty much,
yeah. So if you want a sweet beer, you mash hot. And if you want a dry beer, you mash cold. But there's a few other tricks to get it dry as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they call it Plato. There couldn't be a more Aussie word.
Well, it's not well, I don't know. Yeah. It comes from the guy that came up with the scale, I think. So.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Makes sense.
So, as part of our Wednesday Winos, we always have a tradition at ending the show, basically trying to avoid, because we kind of have this is just mates hanging over a drink and talking about, want to leave on a high note. So, I would like to hear what you have in terms of positives for the last week or last month, because it's been a month since we were last here. So, James, what positive thing has happened to you that you could say and share with everybody?
I think it was Sunday. I just went down. I walked down to the local bakery just to get a loaf of bread. So I actually live in Fitzroy and walked down to Falco. I've heard it. They make really good sourdough. So I just went down there, and on the way back, just saw this just kind of old lady in her garden, and just started, for some reason, we just started chatting and had a really nice chat with her for 20 minutes while she was in her garden waiting for her son to drop off some supplies. And she turns out she'd been living in the area for 53 years, and almost found out her whole life story in that 20 minutes. But it really made my day, actually, just kind of having that kind of random connection, which I guess we've almost all been missing for months at a time.
Well, she really appreciated that too.
Well, I'd like to think so.
Right, who's this nutter that walking down the street? I love him. We can talk about.
Yeah.
To Sarah and John, what's one of the positives that you've witnessed or experienced in the last month?
Okay, you go first. No, you go first.
We got one each. We got two.
Oh, we got one each, yeah.
So I suppose for me, it was the other day. We were delivering wine, and literally every customer that I delivered to, pretty much, was really thankful. And not saying, it doesn't happen sometimes. You get someone who's like, oh, thanks, But these people were genuinely, you're doing such an amazing job. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing, and it was just really heartfelt. And I think my message to everyone who's still watching is be thankful to all your delivery drivers.
Definitely,
they're on the front line too.
True.
Risking our lives for your alcohol addiction. And for me, it's personal, because we found a little puppy that we're gonna welcome into our home, hopefully. So that's been really positive, because I've been wanting a dog for a very long time, and it's been really hard finding one because everyone just decided that they needed a dog now. So we finally found one, and I'm really happy that.
And we're rehoming it, and we've watched every single Dalmatian film there is.
Oh yeah, it's a Dalmatian. So, unfortunately, we can't have her just yet because of the new restrictions, but we will hopefully get her soon. So that's my positive. It's very
to come out on the tours.
Yeah, so when you hop on next time, when you'll have a Dalmatian sitting in the front with you.
Something like the fire engines, Dalmatians in the fire engines.
It's a Dalmatian driving the bus. What do you mean?
Ben.
First, a quick one, but I might do a couple. But first is the last weekend. I had a couple of days off, and it was super weather, and just broke up the like the dreariness that we've been going through.
Yeah.
Like it's been
the shit.
in lockdown when you can't go outside, so that was really good. And then just our staff, I think I've said it before, like they're just so adaptable and willing to get on board and do what needs to be done. And it's really tough on them, and they've been amazing.
Yeah.
What about you, Beck?
I have two really cool things. First one is similar to yours in that 10 to 8 months ago, our cat escaped our house and ran. Well, we thought she ran away. She didn't love us at all, and she never came back. Turns out she hitched a ride in one of the cars that came to visit us and ended up in Cottles Bridge. I got a call last Wednesday, Friday, actually, on Friday. That someone had caught our cat and they connected us up. So and she was all down in Greensboro. I went to Greensboro and picked her up last week. So it was really quite. It's like she hasn't left. She's back to where our dogs are going crazy because there's a cat again. But yeah, we got our cat back. And the final thing that I have is Kangaroo Ridge Retreat got an award for TripAdvisor. We didn't expect it. I was busy trying
to awesome.
Get guests to move their date and try and work out what would work for them and everything. And then suddenly we found out we'd gotten a Traveller's Choice Award. So I was like, oh,
that's awesome.
Like my own boat, but with the amazing team that we have and how they do such a great work when they try and welcome guests and all behind the scenes. So it's really them that really got that word, and everyone putting in reviews. So if you want to support local businesses and if you want to support in a way and you don't have spare cash, the best way to do it is to like their pages, like their social media, so Instagram, share what they are actually sharing on Instagram or Facebook. Watch their live shows is another one. But yeah, and write a review. So if you've got a fish and chip shop down the road that you really love, just make the effort and write a 5-star review. It goes a long way and it makes people feel really good. And you haven't spent any money. So yeah, that's what I recommend. Yeah, it was a good day.
Awesome. Well done.
Yeah. So we are coming to the end of our show at now. We've gone a bit over time. Apologies. Thank you to all our people who are out there watching us on Facebook Live. Wonderful that you've joined us here on Wednesday Winos. We are going to be next. We do a show Wednesday Winos, first Wednesday of the month every month, and we will announce in 2 weeks who we are going to be having as a guest interview as a guest for our next show. So keep an eye out. But in the meantime, if you are inspired to actually have one of the drinks that we've had, like one of the Pinots, maybe even the Shiraz, some IPA, or even the mixed case from Watch River, you can go to Watch River Brewing to the top and order a pack. And if you go by before 12 o'clock tonight, you might get a delivery tomorrow. So, yeah. Until next month, thank you so much, Jane, for joining us and sharing us a bit about Mandala wines.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah.
And just hang on a second. We'll talk to you. Don't hang up just yet, but we'll just finish. Yeah. So, everybody, thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Stay safe, everyone. See you next time.